Hi, everyone. Real Deal is back yet again. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Community Preservation Act, the CPA. We passed that finally at our election. They put it on the presidential ballot. So, as question 6 here in Townsend, Massachusetts. So, it passed. I forgot the numbers, but it passed. Doesn't matter what the vote was, it passed without any question about balloting and all that stuff. But it passed. And I heard it, I watched the video. Because I always have receipts. When I say stuff, I try not to make things up, or I don't make things up. I have some basis. Usually, I have full receipts, as they say. I either got it on a video, I've got the documentation, I got the public record, I have seen the lawsuit, whatever it is, I have the receipts for this. So, what I'm about to do, I watch because I watch as many meetings as I can. I either attend them or I watch them on the Townsend's YouTube channel, which this one isn't. You're watching it here. You're watching it on my channel unless somebody hijacked it. And thank you very much. You'll give me the views, so I'm happy. But anyway, the Board of Assessors, that's who manages the CPA, all your exemptions and all that determinations of how much you have to pay and all that stuff. I was watching their meeting. And Vicki Tidman, who's our assessor, she's there during the day. She anyway, yeah. She was talking in the meeting about what it's been like to be in the Board of Assessors office after the big election where it's passed. And a lot of people, even those who are eligible for exemption, did vote for it because they knew they were exempt. So what the heck? And so they voted for it regardless. I don't know who voted for it. I really don't. But anyway, but people have been swamping the assessor's office to put in for their exemptions. They want to opt out of this thing. They don't want to have to pay these millions of dollars in extra taxes, which is about $40 a month for most people. I mean, no, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. $40 a year. It's only going to be really pennies. It's $40 isn't pennies, but it's not like $1 million. Sorry, I'm exaggerating. I'm trying to be funny. But anyway, you voted for it, so it's going to be whatever it is. It's I'm not going to get into the details of what the CPA is and the whole formulation. But basically what they said, and I'm supporting the assessor's office. This is not a video to attack anybody. I'm trying to support the assessor's office and get my information out to the townspeople so you don't swamp the assessor's office, as well as giving you information, even though the town hasn't found it necessary to provide you with it. So I'm going to try to help everybody out. The assessors might get mad at me for part of this because I'm going to give you information that they were holding off until January, but I'm going to give it to you right now because it's available. It's out there if you Google the right thing. So if you Google CPA exemption form, you'll get the form. Okay? I'm going to tell you that right up front. But before I do that, before you leave my video and go do that, do not bother the assessor's office with any questions or insisting on anything until after January 1st. Don't do anything to them. They can't do anything. None of us can do anything about it until January 1st. And when I get to the form, you'll understand why, I hope. Because you have to fill out this form and it has to include your income. If you're doing an exemption, you have to know your income for all of 2024. December, so this is November. There's no way you can fill out that form unless you're on a fixed income and you know already exactly how much money you're going to get between now and December 31st. But you still can't submit it until January 1st at the earliest. I'm going to show you the form. I'll probably put a link to the form in the description of this video once I publish it. It's not published yet. When you see this, it will be published. So hopefully I'll have it in there. You can fill it out online, but then you got to save it, print it, and give it in paper form to the assessor's office. We're not doing online stuff with this. I don't think they're going to do it that way. But the form is a statewide form. Every town uses it. It's a deal. I don't want to. Well, it's a DOR form. So if you're from the assessor's office and you're watching my video, you might learn something, but that's okay. I don't know what to tell you. But it's a statewide form. They can't make up their own form. Okay, so I'm gonna stop babbling and tell you that it asks a lot of things. Since this is going to be the first year, the first thing I want to tell you is find your birth certificate. That's the only thing you can do right now. Is you can start filling out the form once I give it to you, but you need your birth certificate. It says right on the form, if this is your first year applying, which it is because we just started. I know I got one a year or so ago somewhere when I had to do my real ID for my driver's license. So I have it somewhere, or I have to pay another $20 probably to get it from the town I was born in, which was in Townsend, so it's going to be a pain. But anyway, that's that story. But let's go. Let me hit the form up if I can get to the right window. Oh boy. How's that? There's the form. Okay, can I scroll on here? No, I can't. I have to find where I have the form actually. I know it's a window. Where is it? Oh boy. It's there. You can see it. I just can't touch it. Just look at the form. There it is. I filled out. No, I thought it was put up the wrong form. I put Townsend in there. I did fill one out. I filled mine out already. It's just sitting there waiting somewhere. Where's the form? Okay, I know where it is. There it is. Okay, I can mess with this. Hopefully that worked. Let me see. I think it moved. Did that move? It moved. Okay. So here we have, I'm going to try not to make you dizzy. I have a bad habit of that. I apologize. Hang in there. But you got to fill out all these little blue areas. Not here. That's the assessor's office only. Don't touch that. It's all, you're going to say, I think this is going to have fiscal year 2025 on it. Pretty sure. So these are reasons not to fill it out completely. Or just don't submit this. Don't go to the assessor's office. Leave them alone. This is new to them too. Okay, but here's the form. You got to fill out your name. You got to put in your phone number, your marital status. Hopefully these are easy questions for you. Were you 60 years old or older on January 1st of 2025? Yes. That's me. Yes. Okay. If you have, this is low income and low income persons. That means you can be 25, 30, 40 and own a house. And you fill this out. If you don't own a house, this is just go watch another video. This doesn't apply to you. The CPA only applies to people that own a house, even if the bank owns most of it. All right, this is for low-income persons and low or moderate income seniors. I'm going to go over this, so don't panic. I don't know where I got another form here somewhere. Okay, so, and this is General Laws, Chapter 44B. Don't worry about the laws right now. So you put your legal residence on January 1st, 2025. This is going to be these dates are 2025. Your mailing address, if different, like if you have a post office box, you need your legal residences. Don't put a post office box in there. Your mailing address will have a post office box. Then you got to put location of the property. Again, you just have to write your address multiple times if that's what it takes. How many dwelling units? Is it a 1-family, 2-family, 3-family, or some other concoction? Did you own the property on January 1st, 2025? Yes or no? Well, hate to tell you, you're going to be disqualified if you don't. Sole owner or co-owner with spouse only, or co-owner with some other person or persons. Was the property subject to a trust? A lot of people, especially senior citizens, have put the property in a trust. don't, just keep going. Don't worry about it. If you do, don't get confused. I don't know what the answer is to your question. I already know what some of your questions are. Just, it's still taxable. So don't sweat this. Okay, was the property subject to a trust on January 21st, 2025? Yes or no? If it was, just attach the trust instrument, including all schedules. You should have that, or your lawyer should, or you gave it to your beneficiary. I don't know where you have that trust. You should keep it locked up in your own strong box. But if you have that, attach a copy. Don't give them your only copy. Have you been granted any exception in any other city or town? In other words, do you own multiple properties? Do you own a house in Pepperell and you're already on it, and you own a house in Townsend? I don't believe. Don't quote me. Never mind. Just answer the question. I'm not going to tell you whether you qualify or not. Just because I don't know. Just keep going. If it's true, fill it out. Then you're going to sign it. Now, this is where it gets dicey. That's easy, isn't it? That's so easy to fill this out, right? Here's the hard part. If you had trouble with this, oh my, you might need help. But here's the rest of it. Now you're going to put all your household members. Don't panic. Just fill it out. Just answer the questions. And I also want to tell you, this is private information. It's not a public record. The only people that are going to know this is the assessor's office. A lot of the people that are filling this out, based on what Vicki said, who's the assessor, she said we do have quite a few people, seniors, that are eligible already for tax breaks. You can do all of this stuff if you're eligible for these tax breaks. But many of you are already filling out that senior circuit breaker stuff. And you're already given them information, and they're not going to sell it. They're not going to give it away. They're not going to put it on Facebook. It's not a public record. I can't ask for it. They won't give it to me. I don't want it, but nobody wants it. Okay? Don't worry, but just fill out the stuff. This is the government, not Townsend. This is not just Townsend. The state, this has to be on file. The Department of Revenue is going to verify this. So, lying on this stuff is fraud, okay? It's tax fraud, financial fraud, what have you. So you got to tell the truth to the best of your ability. And let me tell you, every single thing you answer on this form can be asked for. I don't know if they're going to ask for backup information, but everything here is subject to proving. You must be able to prove it. I'm over 60, so my thinking is for people over 60, the elderly people who are going to ask for the senior exemption. And I keep forgetting, I'm sorry, about younger people. There's also a low income exemption. So you still have to fill this stuff out, because some of the different laws apply to different people. But some of these will help you qualify. All right. Just if you have real serious questions, wait till January. Get the information, okay? But the serious questions can wait, because the assessor's office isn't prepared. And they said that. They don't, a lot of things they just didn't know. I'm going to back up a little bit. Apologize. One of the things, there's a couple things. I'm not criticizing the assessor's office at all, because this is new to them. Even Vicki, she also works double duty. She works in the town of Dunstable, and they have the CPA. They've had it for a few years, she said. And they fill out the forms and things, and there's a few things she didn't know. She didn't know how that on the tax, on your property value, the first 100,000 doesn't count for the CPA. That isn't, she didn't think that, she thought that was based on the town, and that we were doing the 100,000, but everybody else doesn't. It depends on the town, and that's incorrect information. I did look into that. It is automated. It is by the state. It's in the state law. It isn't town to town. It isn't one town has it, another town doesn't. All towns who have the CPA the first 100,000 of property value isn't counted. That's in the law. I'm not going to dig it out. Just, I can prove it later if it's really that important, but that's okay. I mean, it's probably an automated on the town's financial pages. Nobody's sitting there doing stubby pencil, doing the math on these things. It's done computerized. So it's probably done. She probably doesn't even realize it's happening, but it is. Your first 100,000 on your property doesn't count. And we're doing 1% of your how much tax you pay. It's not a lot of money here. Okay. So anyway, and I can't remember what else. Oh, she said that Dunstable, there's only a few people that are eligible for exemption in the whole town of Dunstable. So she doesn't have a lot of experience doing a lot of exemptions, but she already knows because of the number of people who are eligible for like the senior, there are senior citizen tax breaks already on regular taxes. So if you're low income, you're eligible for a lot of breaks. If you didn't know, you do need to call the assessor's office because they'll help you with that. But as far as the CPA goes, we're going to have a lot of people that are eligible. Like, all right, and I'll give you information. I'm eligible on the senior low income, but I'm not eligible otherwise. I'm already getting an exemption because I'm a disabled veteran. So I'm not eligible for the other senior tax breaks, but I am eligible for the CPA exemption. So I got to go do this form, and it's all new stuff to me. But many of you are already giving them a lot of personal information. So, I mean, if you don't want to fill out this form, you don't have to. Thank you for your contribution. You won't be exempt. Okay. Then you have to fill out this form, this part of the form, which has been on the screen for a couple minutes. Health insurance premiums, how much you've paid. If you're paying for your Medicare Part B, don't forget that. Look at your Social Security statement. It'll have the monthly amount, and you just multiply that times 12. For this year, don't wait for your new form. Do the one that you can get the number right now on the Social Security page. So you can get what the monthly premium is that's taken out of your Social Security check, assuming that that's how you're doing it, and then plug it in. And then if you have some other additional insurances, like if you have a Part D, if you're getting that extra prescription coverage, or if you got supplemental plans, add them all up. And if you're also additionally have like dental plans and vision plans, throw them all in there. Add them up, but also be prepared to prove these numbers. Doctors, copay, that would be copays or things that aren't covered. Hospital bills, if you've had to pay for hospitalization. These aren't bills, these are payments. Payments, you paid them. You have to show that you paid them. Not they billed you, you paid them. Some people make that mistake. Diagnostic tests, labs that weren't covered, x-rays that weren't covered, medical equipment. Do you have CPAP machines? Do you have, I don't know. I can't think. There's all kinds of medical equipment people can have. And then be careful with that one. But there's probably many of you probably have things that don't qualify, but you know it's medical expenses and you just don't know where to put it. Throw it in other. And then that's your total out-of-pocket expenses. Some people will have a lot of challenge with this one. This is why I want to make sure you guys get this now, because January, you're going to be under the gun and you're going to be like, oh my God, I got to get this filled out. You don't have to have it filled out on January 1st, but I want to help you just so that come the beginning of January, all of us can get this out of the way and get it submitted or get our questions answered. Okay. Now, this is where it gets down and dirty. Applicants. These are people that own your property. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. List income received from all sources for each member of your household 18 and older and not a full-time student. Let me put this in English. people who are not dependents on your taxes. Okay. Grown-ups, 18 and over. Now, if they're a full-time student, they're probably still a dependent, I think. I haven't had any of those. I don't have one of those. But anyway, just answer these questions, okay? If you're not sure, sit on this information. Get the information from everybody in your house. Your 12-year-old daughter does not have a job, I don't think. So she doesn't have to fill this out. If she's 18 or older, she has to fill this out if she's got a job at Dunkin'. Okay? So, name, that includes yours. Cindy King is in here for me. Any wages you had. Do you have a part-time job? Some of you do. Now, here we have your Social Security. You can fill this out right now if you're on Social Security. Get your Social Security statement with your monthly amount, multiply it times 12, or whenever you started. You might have just gone on Social Security this year, just however months you got. Okay, other pension and retirement benefits. You can couple that all together if you got multiple sources. If you've been taking money from your IRA here and there, then you just figure out you got to do this for your taxes anyway, even if it's not taxable, because there's on there. I hope you're doing your taxes properly. Anyway, just dig out this money. Interest and dividends. I think I've got about $1.98 here. Rental income. If you have a multifamily house, or if you're renting your room, you got an Airbnb. I don't know. Rental income. Net profits from business or professions. If you're doing a Schedule C on your income taxes, you got to put your net profits, not gross profits, net profits. All right, capital gains. Some of you are making money on the stock market and it's not tied up in a retirement plan. Or, if you've cashed out stocks, here you go. This is I know, I apologize. I'm focusing a lot on seniors, but, low-income people might have capital gains. You might. Alimony, child support, public assistance. This would be if you're getting, I might even put SNAP in here. Additional financial stuff that's coming from the government because you're living in poverty, or the low income programs. Okay. If you're not sure how to list these, you might have a whole bunch of them. And if you're not sure, don't forget, if we come down here, I'm going to say unemployment compensation, disability compensation. This is SSDI, and I'm going to include VA disability payments in this as well. I don't get SSDI. I only get VA disability. So I'm going to put that in here. Then we have other, like I got a couple things that are kind of confusing, and I might want to separate them. Even if I could double up, I might separate some of my things, because some things may not count. I'm eligible anyway, so I'm not losing any sleep. But you're supposed to give them everything. So there you go. So then you add all these things up. Total gross income members. Don't get confused here. I just said net profits from business. That does not include gross. Doesn't mean you screw things up. Nobody wants to know how much money you lost in your business last year. We don't. Okay. If you've got self-employment income, if you don't know the answer to this question, I'll answer for you later. If you ask me, if you don't know how to do a Schedule C, you might have somebody do it for you. You might have to dig out your tax. You might have to call whoever did your taxes. I don't know. But if you're doing that, if you didn't report any income on your 1040, then don't worry about it. Don't even, because your proof, somewhere in here, they're going to ask you for your taxes. I know they are. I'm just confident they're going to ask taxes. You want to see your 1040. You may not have to send all the schedules, but you got to do the 1040. Some places want the schedules. It's a nightmare for me sometimes. But anyway, so then you have to put your primary, yeah, for you, each individual, and then your total household income. Because that's where household income is where the CPA exemption comes from. All right. Co-owners household gross income during preceding calendar year. Does Schedule E above include the gross income from all co-owners of the property? See, some people have a co-owner, and that co-owner doesn't live with them. So that's where this question comes in. They got you. The Department of Revenue knows how to get you. So here we go. Yes or no? If the co-owner doesn't live with you, then they didn't ask anything about a co-owner. These are just household members. Oh, now they want to know, do you have a co-owner that doesn't live with you? It could be a family member. It could be just some of you invested with. I don't know. There's so many different combinations of things that could be happening here. See yes or no. If no, you have to do another form. If no, a Schedule C, D, and E must be attached for each co-owner not included. So this is, again, these are the people that you fill your taxes out for. And that's all you got to do. Don't worry about this part. The assessor fills this out. That's when they plug everything in. And do not try to figure out, oh, I'm not going to be eligible. You might be. If you're a little over, I'm not sure. I got to read the law again. I don't know who's calling me. I don't know who that. Somebody called and they hung up. Okay. I got to stop paying attention to my phone while I'm doing a video. All right. Some of these right here, the medical expenses, they might reduce your, they might make it, you might be eligible. Gosh, I wish I'd looked that up before now. So I'll do another video as we get closer. I'll cover this. I'll do a part B on this video, I promise. But this is the form. Okay, I will have a link to it in the description of this video. If I don't have it there right away, I'll get it there soon. It's this particular one I downloaded from Concord, but you don't have to. This one, I got another one. It's a Massachusetts. It's a mass form. Just Google CPA exemption form. If you Google that, it'll come up. Take the one it doesn't matter which one you get, but it should look like this. And so that you can fill it out, you have to then save it or at least print it out. And then it's all, and you typed it in. Or if you don't, you can handwrite it. I suggest typing it so that everybody can read your writing. My writing can sometimes be bad, other people's as well. Okay, so this is the form. Now, I got to go back to this video. I want to get rid of this thing. Remove. There we go. I'm back. Now I'm going to try to get this out of here. Stop screen. Okay, I want to bring up the eligibility. Whoop, window. It's going to be right here. Okay. This is the eligibility. Now, don't look at this. I got Townsend, the highlighted line here. This is I'm not going to get it. Just trust me. This is the CPA form, the eligibility, CPA low and moderate income worksheet for 2024. This is sure to change. It'll get better. It'll go up. The numbers will go up. But this one has, I hope you can read this. Hold on, I got to go back. Can you read this? I'm going to get my face out of the way so it's a little bit better. Hopefully you can read this. I'm going to read across it anyway, just to make sure. Okay, so Townsend, I don't remember what all those acronyms are for, but for Townsend, we have for senior citizens, 60 and older, this is what the income limit is for senior citizens 60 and older to get exemption on the CPA. For single elderly people, that exemption limit, the highest number, is $104,230. I'm sure there's applause going out there. I'm in. Okay, if you're a family of 2 household members, 2 people living in your house, that's $119,000, 120. Then if you have 3 people, it's 134,010. If you're 4, 148,900. These are good numbers. I mean, the bigger, if you have more people, all these people have full-time jobs, then it gets tougher. The bigger your household is, and these numbers are all 60 and older, low income. Okay. All right. So I can feel the questions. I can, but don't. Mine's easy. I don't make 104,000. People think I'm making that on YouTube. I'm not making any money on YouTube videos. I'm going to say it again. I'm not monetized. I'm doing this for nothing. Okay. So feel free to view, click on everything you want, like it, share it, do all that kind of stuff so I can get more views. But I'm not making a nickel. Okay. So if you're under 60, you're under 60 years old and you live alone. You own your property and you live alone. Your upper limit on income is $83,384. For some, a lot of people don't make that much. Our average household income for Townsend is like $148,900, but that's a family of 4. Okay, and that might be considered low, actually. So if you got 2 people in your household, 95,296, 3 people, 107, and onwards. Senior citizens get an extra break. Thank you very much. I think we earned it. And part of that, I'm not going to go get a full-time job I'm living on retirement money. Okay. I'm happy. It's working for me. And, so I'm going to make people dizzy. I apologize. But this is what we have right here. Now I'm going to go political on you. I'm going to go political. And I can't apologize. This is my channel. I can go political. I'm going to go political. I'm putting this out the day before the selectmen's election. I'm going to try to pull up the video to prove I have receipts. Now, you see this little word? No, it's an acronym. Townsend, BCQ, I don't know what the heck that means, but MSA. MSA, Metropolitan Statistical Area. Oh, Boston, Cambridge, Quincy. Now I know. We're in the Boston, Cambridge, Quincy MSA. So that explains why these numbers are high. Some of you might not agree they're high, but they're high. These are pretty decent. A lot of us are going to be eligible. And a lot of people are eligible under this. So, but because of our metropolitan statistical area, these are the high numbers. I'm going to give you a little tour of the area. I'm only going to take you to Pepperell. They're in, hold on. I forgot HMFA. I forgot Boston, Cambridge, Quincy. Oh, HMFA. I don't remember. Something Middlesex. Something financial. I don't know. I'll find it somewhere. I'll back it up on my next video. But this is strictly, we're completely Boston, Cambridge, Quincy, but Pepperell is also in the MSA, but the Lowell HMFA. We're still in the Boston, Cambridge, Quincy HMFA. Housing, it's probably housing metropolitan something area. I gotta look that up. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer. That might be a legend. Maybe I'll make you really dizzy and spin all the way down to the bottom. Maybe it'll be there somewhere. Now, so Pepperell, their housing prices are a little bit higher, actually. They're larger population, and it's amazing that we have higher metropolitan. Our threshold, our limits are higher than Pepperell's. Pepperell's is single, senior. Their limit is 93,030. So their senior citizens have more than $10,000 a year less. So their cutoff is much lower. So we're lucky. We have a better benefit than Pepperell does. They're paying more. More people are paying more taxes in Pepperell, or at least on the CPA. The reason I want to go political, then the low income non-seniors, they can only make $74,000 for a single person. Okay. And we can make $83,384. So, okay. Groton's also in the same one with Pepperell. So we can make more money than them. Pretty cool, huh? Unless the Townsend Affordable Housing Trust gets their way. The Townsend Affordable Housing Trust, chaired by Veronica Kell, who's running for selectman, take note, she is really working very hard, working diligently to get our MSA changed to the same one as Pepperell. She's working hard at it. The rest of the committee, they are having meetings. It's not on their next agenda for some reason, but it was on the last two or three. They were working, and Veronica Kell even went to see Lori Trahan, our U.S. Congresswoman, to see what she could do to help us change the MSA. And I was pretty upset about that here we got a town official reaching out to Congress to make changes that would harm our citizens, our residents, less people. These numbers are not just CPA. This is to be eligible for affordable housing. If you're living in affordable housing, Veronica Kell wants to evict you. She doesn't want you eligible for affordable housing if you make over 132, if you're a senior citizen living by yourself. Anything that has to do with housing, she wants you, cut you off if you're making more money than this. And because she wants to get us into the Pepperell. She really is working very hard. And I told her she was nuts. I didn't call her nuts, but I said, you're really going to harm a lot of people in this town, because we do have a lot of people eligible for all these things. And she actually got giddy. In fact, I have a video here somewhere. I'm going to take this down. I'm going to try to do this. I'm sorry if this video is taking a while. Let me go back to me. I'm going to get this down. Remove this. Stop that screen. Okay. Share. Oh, my battery's dying. Okay. I got to see what. Here we go. It's in my those of you that this is the TAHT, my video. This is my video that I took. These ladies, woman, I shouldn't call them lady, woman, were having a meeting after the meeting. This is an open meeting law violation right here, but I still had the conversation with her. This is my video. Townsend Affordable Housing Trust hates the First Amendment and violate the open meeting law after adjourning. Adjourning. Okay. So assuming everything's going to work, Sometimes I lose volume. If I lose volume, I'll just delete this or something. I don't know. All right, listen up. This is Veronica, me telling Veronica bad things that she's doing.
We're going to take a lower one.
So in other words, there's another way to skin that
I think.
cat, is what you're
I
saying.
think. Yeah, I think
So,
so.
so
I don't know.
it is a trade-off, you know?
Yeah.
There's something good about having the higher number.
Yeah.
But
the
there's
CPA
also
is not-
something bad about having the higher number.
It would lower the threshold for people that would be able
Well.
to waive the CPA.
That is true, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, yeah, so,
Yeah.
Okay, did you get that? So I told her, she was trying to talk over me, which she always does when I talk. She talks over me, and but I was telling her that this also lowers the threshold for who's eligible for the CPA exemption. And you saw her get actually giddy when I told her that basically that less people will be eligible, and which basically what she's been doing with this, what this does, that she's working very hard. She's working to get more people to pay more taxes in Townsend. I don't understand it. She's on the Affordable Housing Trust, and she's working very hard to reduce the amount of people who are eligible for affordable housing. That is one of her primary missions. I think that's why she's on the Affordable Housing Trust. I don't understand it, but I'm deleting this now. There it is. Okay. Yeah. So basically, this was primary. If you, hopefully, you are going to watch this whole video, and so you'll get the whole political comment too. But I did this video because I want to let people know that what the deal is with the CPA exemptions, until you go through the form with you and let you know where to get the form. But again, I want to say, do not bother the assessors until January 1st. Don't bug them, please. When I saw the assessors meeting, I said, I got to do a video because they're still going to get bombarded. They did put something up on the website, but I know less people go on the website than go on Channel 9 and that watch anything. And I know I do get a few followers, so I try to put information out that the town isn't. And the Board of Assessors don't have the reach. They don't have the ability to do anything other than throw something on the website. They can't, unless they're going to knock on your door, and they're not going to. I don't blame them for doing that either. But I want to help get this information out. That this is I went over the numbers for the CPA exemptions, and I gave you the form, and I'm going to be putting a link in where to get it, or you can just Google. You don't have to do what I tell you. But leave the assessors alone until January 1st. I'll do a part B of this video in case I have any more information. I think there's a few questions I came up with while I was going through it that I didn't mention, and a couple of things I didn't know. So we're going to do this, is get the information out as best we can. And I just want to commend the assessors for doing the best job that they can on this. They save us a lot of money. They are very helpful for everyone that is eligible for things. They get the information to you. You have to ask for it. They don't know who's eligible for things until you go ask. So, I feel bad that people are going in there. Apparently people are being mean to them, and it's not their fault. There's no reason to be filling out forms until January 1st. I'm going to keep saying that. January 1st. Don't do anything until January 1st. But do start on your own. Get this form and start filling it out and getting the information. And then by the time we get to January 1st, sometime in January, you'll be able to get the form in. You have to get it in by some day in April. So you might as well start early. But that's the only reason I'm doing this video, is to help get the information to you. Okay, you can put comments. In fact, if you have questions on this information that I put out, if you can put comments under the video, and maybe we can get, when I do my part B video on this topic in a month or so, I can answer your questions. or I might do a general townwide everything, updates on everything. One of these days, there's so much going on. But put your questions down in the comments and we'll try to get them to you. And I know some town officials are watching my videos, so town officials can read the comments too. And they can react to them. They don't have to answer. I'm not saying they're going to answer you, or they can. They probably shouldn't. They get into messy problems with open meeting and public records and all that stuff. But they read the comments and they can take action based on some of the things that the public are saying on my video. So, and I will try to answer your questions or get the answers, and at least either answer you in the comments. I try to respond to all the I read every comment that's put on my videos, and a lot of people do too. So, all right. Well, thank you for watching this. How long was this video so far? I can't tell. Wow, I can't tell. I don't know why. Anyway, here we are. Hopefully it's still recording. Okay. So thanks everybody for watching, and I hope this was meaningful and helpful to everybody. So I'm going to end right here and vote tomorrow. And please subscribe, like my videos, share them, and leave comments. I want to see comments. I want to hear what people have to think about all this stuff. Okay. Well, have a good evening. See you later.